Hi there, my name's Danielle Matthews. I'm excited that you're looking into ASEA, trying to figure out what are redox signaling molecules, how do they work in the body, and why do I care about them? I came across this technology and started learning about redox signaling in 2014, and it totally turned around my health and the challenges I was having after sustaining an injury to my brain. And I have become very passionate since then to learn more about how this works, share it with other people so that they can see if this is something that they want to integrate into their health routine. And basically what we're going to talk about is ASEA Redox, the liquid that this company makes. They also have two forms of a topical version. They have Renew 28, a gel that can be used all over the body, and then their Renew Advanced Serum, which is a bit more concentrated, meant for targeted areas on the skin. So what are redox molecules? Redox is actually a huge field of science. This is not something that ASEA discovered. This is not something that they made up. Redox signaling, redox biochemistry, you can go to PubMed, you can go to Google Scholar, you can see what the scientific community is finding with these molecules in the body. There are textbooks that have been written on the subject. I have one sitting right here. And you can look and see how redox molecules are involved in every system in the body. But here is what I have found the easiest way to think about it and explain it. Your cells, as you're making your energy, your ATP, it's a process called the Krebs cycle that happens in your mitochondria. And for the longest time, it was thought that the reductants and oxidants that are spun off during the Krebs cycle were just like the exhaust in your car, right? The waste product, the byproduct of making energy. And it wasn't until the late 90s that someone realized one of them had a function, and it opened up this entire field. And they have now found that these reductants and oxidants, and the literature talks about them now as redox, just the conjunction of the two words, or contraction, excuse me, of the two words. And basically reductants, they're negatively charged. So what do they do in the body? They donate electrons, they reduce things. That might be something like glutathione. Glutathione, SOD, catalase, these are these master antioxidants in our body. It has been found that the redox signaling molecules that ASEA has actually turn on our glutathione in our body. And glutathione, if you don't know what it is, you can look it up, see how it's integrated into our health. It's a master detoxifier, it's a master at dealing with inflammation. It is incredible to get your glutathione levels up in your body. And then the oxidants, right, these are the signalers. I think about them like, look, if you have a damaged cell, the healthy cells around it will send out a signal to the body. That's how the body knows to come in and either repair the damage, or if that cell is too far off, to kill it off. And then a healthy cell will replicate so you get a young healthy cell in its spot. Now, that signal, that's done through oxidants. It's also the signaling within our cells. So our cells, our bodies, we're impacted by our environment, from stress, toxins, what we eat, what we drink, the air we breathe, it impacts us. And so our genes actually get turned off. And oxidants are part of what allows our genes to be turned back on. And so they're the signaling within our cells as well as between our cells. Now, why would we want to supplement? Why would you want to take something like ASEA Redox and put more redox in our body if our body's making it in every single cell, right, in our mitochondria? Well, the thing is, after you hit puberty, you start making less. Our body goes through a lot of changes. We become less efficient at making redox signaling molecules. And as we age, we watch this, right? We watch our bodies start to have diseases and illnesses we didn't have or we don't see in younger people. Our healing time goes down. I mean, if you get a 5-year-old versus even like an 18-year-old, they have a tonsillectomy, that 5-year-old is going to heal a lot faster than the 18-year-old. And the 18-year-old will heal faster than the 40-year-old. And the 40 compared to the 60-year-old. It's just the process. And what occurs is that signaling, when there's less of these redox molecules in our body, the call for help is weaker. If you think about like your cell phone, we all know what it's like to have a conversation with 5 bars of service, strong, clear communication when you have good signal. Let's think about if you had 1 bar of service. You know, I just had the apartment next to mine actually caught fire. And let's say I tried to call 911. The fire department literally is around the corner from where I live. And if I only had 1 bar of service, they're not going to be able to hear the location, what's going on, what's needed. And even though they have everything they need to put out the fire, if that communication isn't strong because there's a lack of a signal, 1 bar of service, they're not going to be able to get there, right? Or the call might be dropped, or there's miscommunication. The same happens in our body. If you have a weak signal, the body might not be able to hear where the damage is. And so things start to become chronic, or they might not hear that there's a mutation. And so something gets out of control. And if you could reinstate and have a strong signal like you did when you were younger, it'd be profound for the body. And they thought it was impossible to make these redox molecules outside of the body because they're very fleeting. They're like little sparks. Can you imagine lighting, a sparkler and then trying to grab one of the sparks and stabilize it and put it in a mason jar and bring it inside to light a candle? You can't do it. And that's what the scientific community thought was true with redox signaling molecules until a team of scientists figured it out. And that is now what is in here. I think of it as just like a bottle full of little sparks. And when you take it, they're going to work in your body wherever your body needs it, right? These molecules don't do the healing. Okay, what they do is they amplify the call for help so your body can go in and figure out where's the damage, what needs to be repaired, and start that process. It's remarkable. You can target the area if you're using the gel or the serum. You take it internally, your body is obviously intelligent. It knows where it needs to go. So it might do something different for every single person that takes it. We never quite know because we don't always know where our damage is.